Hey everyone, it's your girl Jossie, aka J Renee, back at it again with another video. So today we're gonna be upcycling these two regular t-shirts. These are youth sizes, but that's okay. So before we get into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video because you're gonna love it. So do that. So without further ado, let us get into the video. Just so y'all know, I got these from the dollar store just like I did that blue set in that other video that I have. So go check that out after this video. But now we're gonna measure off the shoulders about 2 inches. Measure 2 inches off the seam line of the sleeves because we're gonna make this an off the shoulder. And you want to cut actually more towards the collar than I did, just so it fits, just so you don't cut off too much. You can cut off more, but you can't give back what you already cut. And then I'm gonna crop this about 5 inches down from the underarm seam. We're gonna take a dress or a shirt that is kind of tight fitted. This dress is the one that I had on hand, and I tried to stretch it out because it is really stretchy. And so we're just gonna cut off some of the side and sleeve parts so the shirt will fit a little more snug. The first side that I cut, I just placed that extra piece over onto the other side to match the same cut. And then we're gonna flip the shirt over inside out and then pin down the sides that we just cut so we can make a new fitted shirt. Take that baby to the sewing machine and sew around those places we just pinned. Remember to wind your bobbin with the new colors. Usually I use like a black or white. Those are already like wound, but I'm doing some different colors today, so let's wind our bobbin. And this is kind of soothing. I don't know about y'all, but I love this. And then we're just gonna do a straight stitch down on the side, and I actually went in a little more just to make sure that the shirt was fitted a lot closer to my stomach than usual. And so just sew all of that down in a straight stitch. Remember to take your pins out while you sew. And so I'm going to cut off this excess that we don't need. And then take that part that we cropped off. We are going to cut off this hem because we don't need it, we don't want it, and we didn't want to take it out either. And then fold in half this piece, and then we're gonna cut on that folded edge straight across. When we've done that, we're gonna open them up and cut on the sides as well. Cut those side edges just on that one side. So then the open raw edges we're gonna put together with front side spacing. You can't really tell which is the front, which is the back. Just put them together, match the edges up, and pin them down so we can sew a straight stitch and top stitch this. Once you've done that, this is how it should look. I don't know where those sparkles came from, but this is how it should look. Nice and clean. Then we need to hem this. So on the wrong side, we're gonna fold in, double roll your hem twice, and pin. I'm not gonna pin all of this because I can just do it on the sewing machine. So we're just gonna go to the sewing machine and do a straight stitch while we are doing a double rolled hem. So now that's how it should look when it's finished. And before we go anywhere, we are going to do a basting stitch on the top edge, the opposite edge of the hem. We're going to do a basting stitch, and do not reverse stitch. Don't reverse stitch at the beginning or the end of this seam. Just sew along, and you can see it gathering already as I'm sewing. So yeah, that's how it's going to look. And don't reverse stitch. Do not reverse stitch. And then just cut it off. You can see it already ruffling. And then now we're going to pull this top string, just the top one, not both of them, so then we can ruffle this piece of fabric all together. This is gonna take a minute. Like, it took me a long time to do this, trial and error, and to get it to the right size for this shoulder part that we're gonna do. It did take a lot, so take your time with this, and it's gonna be some trial and error when you do this, but the end result is worth it. I don't really know a better way to do it, but we'll see. So once we have it all ruffled, I'm not really sure if this is the right length, but I'm gonna try it out anyway. We're just gonna pin this to the top edge of the shirt with right side out. We could do it inside out, but I think I like this raw edge that I had at the end, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I finish. So we're gonna pin all the way around and until we get to the end of the other side. When we get there, we want to sew this down with a zigzag stitch. Before we sew that down, we want to do a straight stitch where the two sides should meet. So you see where that pin is? It's holding together the two edges that we needed to meet up. So we're going to do that first with the straight stitch, and then come back and sew the ruffles down on the shirt with a zigzag stitch. You can use a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch. A zigzag stitch holds better, and just in case you wanted to like put in elastic or something, if it was too big, a zigzag stitch would do you justice. So now just sew this all the way down, all the way around, and then come back. And that's how it should look. So honestly, this was the easiest thing almost, but that's how it should look. And then just cut off this excess strings because, you know, they got long after we were ruffling them. And then cut off this top edge, this raw edge. We want to make it all look good, so we want this to look even, and cut it off, making sure you don't cut off the seam that we just sewed. And clean up your mess, baby girl. And so really the last part for this top is just to hem it. So again, we're gonna flip the shirt inside out and double roll hem at the edge, just like that. And beautiful, that is the perfect shirt. And honestly, just turn it inside out, and I think we're ready to try this on. Let's go. Ooh, girl, this sunlight is hitting. Yes. So this top is really cute. It actually goes well with my hair, obviously, because my hair is red, but this looks really good. Let's move on to the next one. So this one, we're gonna use this orange shirt that I also got from the dollar store. I told y'all that already. And we're just gonna crop it. I think I used like 5-6 inches from the bottom. And then we're going to do almost the same thing as the red one, but we're just gonna cut this collar off kind of at an angle, but only cut on one side. So I'm doing the top side first. I'm cutting near the collar and then all the way down to the underarm of the sleeve. So I kind of did it in like a curved motion, but you don't really need to do that because I ended up cutting off most of it anyway. And this almost looks like something you could make with the safety pin. Remember my safety pin video? If you haven't seen that, go watch that after this video as well. But then we're gonna flip to the back and do the same thing. Just cut a straight line from the top edge of the collar to the bottom edge of the underarm sleeve. And then now you have like a one shoulder type of thing. And so eventually you're just gonna cut that part off that I'm trying to figure out what to do with. I really don't know. Once that's cut off, it does look a little uneven. We're gonna cut off the side seam of the part that we didn't cut the shoulder off. So as you can see, we're just gonna cut the side off of that. And then now we're using that part that we cropped off from the shirt that we placed aside and measuring it according to how long this piece from the other side is. I don't know how to explain that, but just watch. You can tell better from just watching. And so I'm gonna fold that piece in half and cut it almost to the end, but not quite, because we need to make this string or this tie thing as long as we can. So we're gonna cut it on both sides. We're gonna need 2 of each. And then this little part that we also cut off, we're going to cut one of those. We only need one to cut in half to make 2. Yes. We're gonna pin these together and then pin them to the shirt as well. So if you missed all of that, we're taking that bottom part and cutting it in half basically and attaching it to the side that we need to attach it to. Pin all that together and do a straight stitch. This fabric wasn't as forgiving under the sewing machine as the red one was. It's a little softer, so I didn't really get to top stitch it, but this fabric doesn't fray, so I didn't really need to, I guess. And once you have pinned that, now we're gonna go sew them. Don't mind my two at the top, but I didn't have an orange that looked good, so I'm just using like this yellow, this tinted orange yellow. And then I'm gonna sew down what I've just pinned to make this tie longer, as long as it can be. And by the way, I was just going along with what I was having in my head. I had a whole nother idea of what I was going to do with this shirt, but I liked how this one turned out a lot better. And so here's the whole thing. Really, that was really simple and easy. It wasn't hard. It didn't take long at all. But the last thing we need to do is hem this. We gotta hem everything, make everything look pretty. Just double roll hem all the way around the shirt because it's literally like a big loop. We're gonna double roll hem all the way around the shirt, and it's gonna take a minute, but we can do it. Just using a straight stitch all the way around. And then it's just gonna look so professional, and we're gonna love this. So yes, by the way, these two tops are in my Depop store, and if you follow me on Instagram at my J Renee DIY Instagram, you will eventually find them there too. I will post them just in case you're interested. Now for the ends, since I said this fabric was a little soft, I just had to fold in only like once on each other at the edges, and then eventually cut off the rest of it because it just wasn't going to sew anymore. So just watch and see what I do here, because it did get real small and the machine can only take so much. And that's how it looks. We got to do the other side, but I'm gonna show y'all how it looks afterwards. And so I did try it on again. That's why there's more wrinkles, but I didn't like this long sleeve, so I cut it into a short sleeve. I used the original hem from the shirt to make these ruffles. So I cut off that tag and then ruffled it the same way I did with the red shirt. So I'm just gonna keep pulling and make this one small because the sleeve is a little smaller. But I did the same process, pinned it all the way around, as you can see, as I'm trying to do. It did take me a couple of tries like it did the other one because this one was smaller and all that. But in the end, it turned out really cute. So once you have it all pinned, this is what it should look like. And now we're just gonna sew all that down just like we did the red one. And so this is the finished look. Ooh, yes, girl, just like the red one. This orange is popping on you. We love this. And the cool thing about this is that the tie is universal. You can tie it really anywhere you want, and I just love that. So thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like and hit that subscribe button for more DIY videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.